Junior 775. We got here to a job, and fortunately this customer has some nice equipment. So I'm going to be using his skid steer to run my driver. It's such a long drive, so we asked for a favor of him using a skid steer. The ground mount's like 800 feet away from here. And then he had his own Mini, so him and his guys were finding 2 septic lines, 2 sprinkler lines, the power line from the transformer. And so this is, I can't tell you how much of a blessing this is to not hit any of this stuff. I mean, that is the power. Not that I would dig that with a machine, we're hand digging anyway. But there's sprinkler heads. There's all sorts of landmines in here that I don't want to hit. So that's not fun. So I gotta remember to bring, we gotta figure out this puzzle. We've got 3 Generac transfer switches running 3 buildings. They're all tied together. We gotta integrate the Sol-Arks and disconnects and bypasses into this system. So we're gonna start noodling tomorrow. But right now I'm getting all the materials to the job so we can do the job. And the mechanical room is a little challenging. Got arc batteries going on the slab, and none of this was here the last time I was here. So this has all got to go because I've got to put an 8-foot gutter in here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do except ruin their DSL, ruin their internet I don't know what's. I have to talk to the homeowner about this one, but this is all got to move. I cannot put any of the equipment on that wall. It will not fit. We brought the gutter here to do that wall. That was the original plan. Okay, 215Ks, lots of switch gear. We'll be back. We had an initial site visit back here in March, and this wall we claimed it for our own. But we came in here and it was covered up with DSL and routers and all sorts of gizmos. And good old Chris said, I'll take it. And so he has rewired and rerouted everything. Well, he's in process of rerouting all the customers' cameras, internet that feeds 4 or 5 buildings. And so, because we need the space for our gear. And so that was a surprise when we got here, but it's okay. Chris has got it taken care of, don't you?
Trying.
He's trying. He's got it. No, his meter, you should have seen the mess. Well, maybe I'll put a picture in there and you can see the mess. So when there's quite a few months before you come back to actually do the job, you find a lot of surprises that you're like, oh no. Let me show you some more. The other thing is sprinklers. We love sprinklers. Wires, sprinklers, septic systems, all sorts of landmines that are in here. There's a septic line there. There's a well over there. So the fun of getting our solar. So we do have at least we know where we're going, and from the end of this trench down to the array is smooth sailing. So I've been told. Nothing like a Mini to disprove that. And we're going to drop a water line into from this well down to the pond. So I'm going to measure it. I think it's 750, 800 feet that we are bringing the solar up here. And you might say, well, how are you going to do that? And how much voltage drop are you going to have? We just got the purlins on, so you might be able to see some steel through the woods. Maybe. We got to go around this pond. How do I get into this? So yeah, you can kind of see that's where the array is, way down yonder. And we're going to trench up that road, across a dam, through the trees, up the hills, and we're going to go into that power shed. That power shed feeds that building, this home, swimming pool, pool house, and whatever loads end up in this power shed, like the well pump, water system, filtration, lights, cameras, internet. And so we are here day 2, and this is one of those days where it's like, oh man, there's no lack of things to do. So I just try to remind the guys, don't stress. out today. Just do something. There's plenty of materials. There's plenty of places. Divide and conquer. Just do it. So what we're doing today, we'd love to put the plywood up, backing for the inverters and bypasses, get the batteries inside, and that would be our goal. That way we kind of have the system roughed out, and we'll come back next week and work on the back and forth from the grid to the bypasses, fusible disconnects, and back to bring the load to feed multiple facilities. So it's a pretty big, kind of complicated. When I first came here, none of the Generac switches on the right were here, so that's another surprise. They're coming back out. We do not need those. I'm putting 2 fusible disconnects in here. There's a panel in this one. Gonna hijack everything on this wall. It's a 600 amp meter base. Really, it's got 400 amp wire in it, so we're building and maintaining 400 amps through our system. I'll tie in the generator as well. Lots to do. Like I said, it's like, don't get overwhelmed. There's plenty of work, and you know how it goes. You just start going, start working, and it all just starts coming together, and you're thinking about the harder parts while you're doing the easier parts. All right, let's get it. All right, I just want to do a little shout out again. I'm putting in a solar system for a customer here, and he had, I don't know if you remember or see my video of installing a US solar mounts DC direct solar aeration system. I don't know if you can see the bubbling going on out there in the pond, and then there's a bubbler right above the panel here. He's got fish. He's got some of these Texas Hunter fish feeders that are on timers. Ooh, that guy will get you. No, but he's also, we were here this morning, we're starting to build the solar array, and these things are on timers. So they were flinging the fish food out, and the egrets and the, the heron, blue herons were out there ready to snag a few. And I guess they're so, their eyes are bigger than their stomach. And so when they see the big fish, they go after and end up killing them and leaving them rotting on the banks. The customer's not too happy about that. Is that one of those white birds over there now? No, thought it was. Anyway, the US solar mounts he's had in here for several years. DC direct aeration system. It's working really well. The pond, part of it is he needed to build a settling pond. He was having so much wash come down in here and kind of too much total dissolved solids were way too high in the water. So he's got that kind of under control. So he's got a bunch of bass in here, and the aerators are just cooking away. So if you need a aeration system, you can go through us or ask us about it. We're familiar with how they go in, or call US Solar Mounts, and Eric Pipkin will help you out. He's another good solar installer, and it's got some great products. He makes a heck of a top of pole mount. So I think that's it. Just wanted to share that with you. I don't run across many people that have DC solar aeration. A lot of people just run an AC. They're close enough, but this was so far away. He wanted to just run a DC direct. All the power's up there, but we are bringing him some solar power. This was the best place for solar, as he already knows, because he already has his array here. Anyway, I'm taking a little break. He's even got a little solar panel on his Texas Hunter. See that? Keeps a little battery charged in there, and it flings that feed out there. Let's see if I can capture it in the morning. The fish love it. All right, back to the machine. I'm hitting a lot of rocks, so I said I'm going to take a break. And I've only made it 10 feet in an hour. I've got 800 feet to go. Oh, well, we're back here. What day is it? Day 3. Array is built, and trench has started from this side of the array along the dam, up through here, up through the woods, and over the hill to the powerhouse we go. So I think we're getting somewhere. System getting roughed in. At the end of today, hope to have at least the solar in. It'd be amazing if we get the solar in and landed and actually charge up the batteries. Woo, I don't know if we can pull that off, but that would be quite the goal. While we're here, the customer has he's got some contractors that help him from time to time. They went ahead and dropped a water line in from an old well, and they're going to put a dock down there so they could catch fish and wash up. So take advantage of every ditch dug. Hey, we've got our water line in, we got our power line in, and there's just a couple places we want to sleeve, and then we're going to bed in the direct bury with some sand. So we'll be very careful with it. We got a culvert going across here. We're just going to put a piece of pipe right there. And so James is bringing me a piece of pipe. Wes is pulling another sleeve. Hey folks, we're here day 3 on this awesome job. We're putting in 2 Sol-Ark 15Ks, and we are working on the bottom end now. The utility requires a fusible, lockable disconnect. This was a 600 amp meter base. We are maintaining 400 amps as he doesn't need any more than that on the property. So what we have is 2 200 amp fusible disconnects, lockable. That's a utility requirement. And then we are going to go inside. We also have this is going to be fun. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 200 amp panels in essence to feed. And so let's go inside and I'll show you what's going on. We've got the 2 15Ks. I actually have them up and running. They're charging a 1200 amp hour Arc lithium. We really love the Arcs. The only thing about the Arcs, they're not closed looped to the inverters, but they are, they have one of the best BMSs out there, and it's an active balancing BMS, and it's really cool. I'm actually going to the show to talk. Anyway, that's another subject. 2 inverters, 2 bypasses. So we've got to get grid power in here to our bypasses. We're going to put grid on top, grid into the inverters, then load being combined out of the inverters to our load power distribution block on the other side of the transfer switch. These are our bypasses. But as you can see, everything's 2 inverters, 2 bypasses, 2 disconnects. And if you turn around here, you get to see what we're trying to bring in. We're going to bring in the SCR cable from our fusible disconnects, and 2 grids and 2 loads. So just making holes, building it, roughing it in. So this is day 3. We got the inspector coming tomorrow, so the pressure is on to get this thing built. So we're doing it in stages. It's kind of fun. We get the DC side up and running, make sure the battery's fully charged while we're working on the AC side. That's usually where we start. We build the ground mount, we get the trench in, get the batteries charging. Now I'm going to start working on the IT side. We put the Wi-Fi sticks in, we build a plant, we parallel the systems, and then we're ready for the AC side. So as you can see, what we ended up buying was some of this awesome compact. This is easy to bend. There's all different types. All 4-aught is not created equal. So some of that SCR cable is super hard to bend. This stuff is really nice, saves our day in working in these tight places. So I bought like 500 feet of this ultra compact 4-aught feeder. So, all right, that's good for now, and we'll be back. Okay, we're wrapping up this project, and I had to leave early, so I left it in good hands. Willis, our electrician, and Wes stayed behind to wrap things up. He's showing me the generator wires here, the controls on the master inverter. I didn't get to finish up my 2-wire start. He's finishing up. This is the slave inverter. In the wiring trough, of course, we've got bus bars, power distribution blocks, load, grid, and then we have all these small wires for the generator coming in that we hijacked for not only the 2-wire start, but also the fuse disconnect. Oh yeah, we had to move all those comms. I've said that 100 times. We leave our bypasses in normal operation, which is the Sol-Ark. So the Sol-Ark is hitting the bottom of this bypass in the bottom position, and we do the same in this bypass. And so we also, this is what Willis did. We picked up 240 volts
for the battery charger and put an inline fuse so that we can maintain the battery in the Generac. We totally bypassed their transfer switches, but we used all their wires. And then grid's on top, Sol-Ark's on the bottom, and we snag power for the generator. And then the 2-wire start runs over there. Oh yeah, our CTs are in because we're doing limited power to home. Oh, now we jump out to the generator, and out here, Willis figured out which circuit was for battery charging. That's the 194, I believe. Yeah, 194. And we grab those 2 wires. So now we're able to charge the battery. Then in the generator, he's going to test it right now to see if it's done right. He's going to go to battery setup. Once he's in battery setup, he's going to go to charge tab and then hit the gen force and hit OK. And that should have started the generator. And so he's going to go back outside. So the generator is now, you can see it. There it goes. It started up and it is running. Nice to have a good timing there, Willis. And then back inside, he's going to go ahead into the battery setup tab again. You saw the 2-wire start signal, and you can see the generator is 241 volts and 60 hertz. That's great. And then signal on, and he's going to go back into the battery setup tab and hit the charge tab again. Going to try to hit the charge tab. Hey, Willis, hit that charge tab. And then hit it harder, smash it. Oh, then you turn off the gen force, then you hit OK. That should turn the generator off. Oh, some people just don't like these touch screens. So Willis, he's going to shoot me when he watches this video. So, okay, master inverter done. Now he's taking us back out. What's he doing? Oh, he's turning the grid back on. Very good. Got our grid disconnects. I think this is the transfer switch that we gutted, we used, but we're not using the actual transfer. We're using the inverter as a transfer. So the system is a wrap. I've been monitoring it now for a couple of days. It is awesome. If you need help, let me know. Engineer 775 signing out.